Works on November 18th, 2025. Call to order the meeting today. Approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, second, meeting minutes from last month. Any questions on those?
No, I have no approval.
And public comments? I'll second the approval and then open to public comment. None, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. On to public comments. At this time, comments from the audience may be made on items not listed on the agenda that are of public interest and within the subject matter jurisdiction of the district. Committee has a policy of limiting speakers to not more than 3 minutes. Committee cannot take action on items not listed on the agenda. Public input may be offered on an agenda item when it comes up for discussion or action. Any public comments? CEO report looks blank today.
None today, thanks.
Whoa. And then there's Eric. All right, Eric.
All right, so I will start on page 9. Similar with the district, I'm going to kind of just highlight a couple things on the income statement, and I don't have any specific comments on the rest of the packet, but happy to answer any questions. The elements I just wanted to note here, year-to-date income is right along lines of budget, but only about $845 over budget on income, so that's going well. And then our expenses are currently showing 454,000 under, but I did want to note that's primarily due to the grants. We estimate how many grants may be awarded under the existing funding under the foundation, split that out evenly over the months. And so we're under budget for that because we haven't had any grants awarded under the foundation. The only thing we've had is actually some reversal of some remaining funds of the grant that ended there. So everything else is in line with what we're expecting, and happy to answer any questions.
What are the limits on the mini grants again?
10,000.
Do you think that limits why people aren't accessing them from the foundation? I think it's just too small of an amount.
They come only for mostly through the district, the mini grants. We get a lot of requests on mini grants.
So this is just a foundation thing that, do people know that they can apply for the mini?
Right.
I don't know, I'm just
Really
curious because we're
Advertise
$350,000.
or all, we have it in there, but it's not.
We're like $400,000 under budget, which is fine. Just,
The funding on the foundation is interesting compared to the district because the district is where we get the general grants. On the foundation side, we really have a couple of those pools of funding. So there's 900 and I think it's 65,000 in carryover funds that we've had from prior years. And then we still have let me look at my sheet here somewhere.
you're good. It's on here.
Then we have the behavioral health, still about 710,000 under that. So unless a grant comes in that specifically falls under those categories, or we have had different applications come through in the past where the board's recommended, it's been a district app and they've said, well, hey, could we utilize this funding on the foundation? We have done that.
Is that typically how it's done, Donna? Or is there a separate application process?
Well, when it first started way back when, we used to utilize the foundation to be able to give grants outside of those boundaries. Because it was foundation funds and it wasn't district going into the foundation. So and we had at one time like $4 million and we just kind of, that was all granted out between the ACA that we did coverage, and we did something with healthy families or something. I can't remember exactly what it was in the schools. So unless this money, like for example, we do use mitigating air quality RFP that came from the foundation because we tapped into the Avery Trust. It was over about $1 million. That's why those grants came through the foundation. But otherwise, it's just mostly everything comes through the district. And like what Chris was mentioning, we've had collective funds. So we've used that as a collective fund pool where we would bring in other funds from other funders. And be able then to do a collective impact type of thing, like with the West Valley Homelessness Initiative that we had. I mean, this is probably something I'm sure our strategic plan, someone's are going to be talking about as well as,
Yeah, and I think that's part of it.
delineate, differentiate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Try to determine how do we want to utilize the
Structure.
foundation going forward. So we have that opportunity, especially with if we can leverage our resources to outside external resources. So
I'll move approval of the financial reports.
I'll second that. Any public comment? Alright,
Aye.
aye. Okay, Pink Journey vendor service agreement for our mobile mammogram.
So what we have here is a new professional services agreement with Pink Journey, what we've used in the past to provide those mobile mammography services in conjunction with the mobile medical clinics. And so we had done a short-term one previously. It was about 6 months that allowed us for 5 events. So what we're looking at doing now is to execute a new one that would be good for 19 months and would allow for 19 events. So if we wanted to do one a month or more frequent, we have that flexibility. The benefit here is with our first couple ones, they were able to provide those services about $10,000 per event. In this particular one, based on the work that Alejandro has done with them to take on some of those duties, they've been able to get that cost down to $8,500 per event. And so this is something that we did include the first few in this year's budget, and we would intend on budgeting those remaining agreements in next year's budget. And everything's included for your review, and we recommend approval.
Yeah,
I move approval.
I second it. I like it. Public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Little information piece about the Desert Healthcare Foundation Form 990.
Yes, we attached our 990 that we just had submitted just for reference. You can see what we're working on.
There's just one correction on page 7 of 50, you spelled Andrea's name wrong.
Uh-oh.
Make sure you fix that.
7 of 50.
Oh, thank you.
I'll move approval.
I'll second. We don't have to prove anything, it's just information.
Oh,
We can keep voting, but.
Yeah, just to share it.
Whatever you.
Hold on, the 990 to be able to submit it, Chris, for the foundation.
I'm sorry.
I thought the 990 was an action item.
Well, how about we do it for a year per view and then accepting it at the board meeting? Would that be
Yes, I think it is
Appropriate.
action. It was an action.
direction to make an action item to accept? Oh, you're right. Thank you.
Okay. Adjourned. Efficient, as promised.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, Arthur's not here. Look how efficient we are, you know? Something standing out. I'm just, you know, I'm gonna point out the obvious, but it's pretty obvious.
Go back and do one quick surgery.